In this video, I'll be giving you an overview of Marc's user interface called Mentat. I'll basically be going over the various tools you have here, some of the tabs here, the windows here, the dialog, and a few other things. To begin, the new icon here opens a new model in Mentat. Typically, when I start a new model, I like to go to File, Save As, and I like to save my file in a different directory. The open icon allows me to open a pre-existing Marc model. The save icon allows me to save my model. If I perform an action in the interface and I wish to undo this action, I can click undo and it undoes the action that was performed. If I want to reset the view to the main primary view, I can click reset view, and here you see that my main view is the X and Y. The regenerate icon works as follows. Here I've opened the plot control. Plot control allows me to hide nodes, elements, points, and so on. Suppose I want to hide my nodes, I uncheck nodes here, and you'll notice that the squares indicating nodes are still here. So by unchecking the various other things, the update here is not instant. What I have to do is click regenerate, and now the view is updated. So if I want to reveal my nodes, I check nodes, and you notice that the update is not instant, so I have to click regenerate. Same thing with elements and points. Alternatively, the draw icon here works in a similar way. To reset the entire view or check all the boxes that were there before, I click reset, and I can also click regenerate here. And I'll close plot control for now. Now suppose I'm zoomed into the model. To do an action, I will have to fit the model in the view, so I can click fill view here, and now the model is in the view. Dynamic model here allows me to rotate or manipulate the view of the model. What I have to do in order to do this, I have to click dynamic model, and you'll notice it's on when it's golden. And now with the left mouse click, and when I hold, and when I move the mouse, I can drag the model around. When I right click the mouse, and I hold, and I move the mouse, I can zoom in and out. If I middle mouse click and hold and move the mouse, I can rotate the model. The zoom box allows me to drag a box and zoom into that area. The zoom in icon allows me to zoom in the center point of the window and zoom out. I can move this horizontally, vertically, and out of plane. I can move this about the horizontal, the vertical, and an axis out of plane. For this particular model, and before I go on, always make sure to have dynamic model off if you're not reorienting the model. Now this model consists of 4 points, a surface, a solid, and a collection of finite elements. I can actually shade my elements, my surfaces, and my solid. I can return them all to the wireframe as shown. And this helps when trying to view your model. In analysis class, I have the option of selecting various other types, such as thermal, diffusion, and hydrodynamic, and various other ones. Here I have various tabs. Under each tab are relevant tools that are needed and make it easy to construct your finite element model for Marc. I can move around the windows. If I double click them, they return to their original location. Here in the dialog, you notice that the last command is solid's wireframe regenerate. If I perform an activity such as click on dynamic model or fill view, those actions are actually listed here in the dialog. Currently, the only information we can visually see about this model is that it's a cube with the boundary conditions here at the bottom. To view more information about the model, I can go to File, click Navigator, and from here I can see that there are 4 points, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's one surface, one solid here, 125 nodes here, 64 elements here. In addition to this, I have various other properties and boundary conditions. I actually have 2 boundary conditions. To view all the boundary conditions, I can go to the Boundary Conditions tab, check Identify, or notice a nice and neat legend here is displayed indicating what boundary conditions are applied. Now, suppose I want to also constrain these 4 nodes here. I can do this as follows. I can click Nodes, Add, and individually pick and select these nodes. And you'll notice that they turn green when selected. Here in the dialog, it lists what nodes have been selected. After I'm done selecting, I can click End List or click the right mouse button. And the update is instant, and you can see the arrows indicating where the boundary condition is actually applied now. I will go ahead and undo this action. Suppose I want to apply this boundary condition to all the nodes. I can click Nodes, Add. Here in the selection control bar, I can click All Existing, and it will select all existing nodes and apply the boundary condition. I will unclick Undo. Suppose I want to apply my boundary conditions to points. I can click Points here, click Add, select All Existing, and it will find and apply all the boundary conditions to all the existing points as shown here. In this case, there are 4 points, and so they're applied here. I'll click Undo. In a future video, we will demonstrate the use of not only the selection bar here, but the selection control window here. And this will be in a future video. Under the Help menu, you will find various pieces of documentation. There are a few I recommend you review. One is the user's guide. This document contains various pieces of information detailing the Marc interface and various other details of how Marc and Mentat operate. Also under the Help menu are 3 training courses, Marc 101, 103, and 104. I also suggest you go through all 3. If I open Marc 101, it is a PDF where the first half are course notes and the second half contains tutorials that walk you step by step on how to perform advanced actions in Mentat. This essentially concludes this overview.